Okay. YouTube. I think it should be up and running now. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're back on YouTube. Great. Now I gotta tell people to go on YouTube again, on Instagram. Evil Paramount. On to us once again. Let's see if there's any... Okay, there's one person on YouTube right now. Hoske, that's insane. What is going on? Bad deja vu. What do you mean bad deja vu? What happened? And we got 3 people on Twitch now because of the whole situation. But the stream should be back on YouTube right now. Oh man, I'm just sad I have to... Hold on, I'm gonna post the new link to YouTube. On Instagram. Oh wait, what? Am I having a bit... Oh my gosh. Am I having a connection issue? Everything is going crazy. Oh my. Hosky, are you still on Twitch? And other people? I see more people on Twitch now. Which means some of you made the escape. Are you kidding me? It shows that YouTube is going crazy, but I don't even know. Let me make a new post on YouTube. I mean on Instagram, telling people that I made a new stream. In the meantime, you guys can watch something else. Something that won't get me copyright striked.
Water.
I guess this is going to get me copyright
Earth.
strike too.
Fire. Air.
Not a good idea.
Long ago, the 4 nations lived
I'll still
together
do
in
it. See
harmony.
what happens.
Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all 4 elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 years passed and my brother and I discovered the new Avatar, an airbender named Aang. And although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Aang can save the world.
Alright, I notified a bunch of people on YouTube, on Instagram. Yes. Okay. Yeah, crazy stuff. That's gonna mess with my engagement, at least at what's of it. Alright. But let's get back into it. Alright, sorry for that interruption, guys. I don't even know if I'm still talking to you guys, honestly. That's the worst part of it. It's like I don't even know if I'm talking to you guys, or if I'm talking to somebody else, or if I'm talking to the void. Crazy, that's kind of sucks. And on Twitch, it's showing me that it's like we're still playing stuff. We're still live, but it's unstable. Crazy stuff. Let me know on Twitch if you guys see this. Because, man, what did they do? What did I do? Oh, you get in trouble for using clips. Yes, I got in trouble for using clips. Okay, I can see some comments on YouTube, but it's weird because my YouTube stream is not... Okay, I see you guys back. Good. Yeah, I did get in trouble for using those clips. Hey Joe Bro Valentine, Twitch is going crazy right now. Stream is massively delayed on Twitch. Hello, can you see me? Yes, I can see you. One more time, can you see me? I'm sorry. There's like some kind of lag that I'm getting from everything. So, just sorry about that. Cause it's crazy. I don't even know if I should even delete the story I had before. Because it's going to confuse people totally. So I'm going to temporarily delete the previous story I had on Instagram so that people don't click on it. And, alright. Let's get back into it. Yeah, it's tripping out on both ends. What a day. Wow. Crazy. Alright, let's get back into it then. I wanted to give you guys some context, and now this is what happens. Well then. Let's actually watch like one more clip of the series. And let's just watch it. Man, I'm kind of pissed off right now. I'm really pissed off. Oh. Alright. There's a buffer here, and then on YouTube. Is there? Seriously? Man. How about now, if you guys reload the page. Hold on, let me type this out so I can make sure that you guys see this. Okay. And delayed on Twitch. How about now? I'm gonna write that. See, I don't even know what to do because usually it works normally for me. What if I... See, my bitrate is okay. It should be okay at least. Should we just drop the... I know there's like people watching on Twitch though. And there's people watching on YouTube, so I don't know what to choose. It's like, what if we just went with one? It says it's fine now. Okay. Alright, so let's assume it's fine now. For those who don't know, we've been running into some issues. For those who are just totally joining us right now. Anyway, dang it. Alright, that's okay. We'll come back from this. We'll come back. So this is now the third act of the movie. Tell me if you can see the screen with a bunch of ships and the smoke and comments in the sky. So to give you some background, let me know while I give you some context. So this is like the final battle of season 1, right? And to those worrying about spoilers, I'm just going to show you just little bits of it. Not a lot of it, but it's basically the Fire Nation attacking the Water Tribe. And they gotta defend themselves. And as you saw before... Wait. I was supposed to show you guys the previous, then the comparison. Goodness gracious, man. See, this is what happens when I'm thrown off balance. I'm going to show you the other clip now. The other clip to give you guys a comparison as to what we're dealing with here. And to be extra safe, let's just flip this right away. And let's flip this way. Although I don't know if Netflix is as obsessed with this stuff. But let's be sure that this stuff is safe. Alright. Let me refresh. Joe Bro Valentine says on. It's going to disconnect for a bit. Hey, Far Cry Lego. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Far Cry Lego? Let me know. Because that's what we got to know on this. Because we did run into several issues while we were streaming. And I think we can now get the stream back on track. Because I figured out a way to make it work. So let me know if you can hear me. I can hear you fine, bro. Awesome. Good. And on Twitch, we should see some improvements as well. Right, Twitch, work with me here. Twitch, please work. All right, and it's working. Good, awesome. All right, awesome. So you guys can refresh the page if you need anything. Let me just type this out. And for those wondering, for Far Cry Lego, who was wondering if you refresh your page. And if you guys run into any other issues, and awesome, Moodcap is here again. Awesome. Refresh your page one more time, and I think it should be good. Let me know if you keep running into these issues, because right now it's telling me that it's wrong again, but I think I made like a certain change that was able to refresh the whole thing, so which I didn't want to do, but now that it's there, it's good. And Jobro Valentine says, we good, awesome, good. So Far Cry Lego, what you missed was essentially me. Tell me if you've watched the Avatar, the Last Airbender series, because I want to know. I think you may have, but essentially I gave you guys like a bit of a recap of the entire show, and now we are at the last act of the whole thing, and now we're doing like a scene comparison. We got taken down before because I think Paramount was like upset with us because we used one of their clips, but I think Netflix will be much more easygoing on us. And you did watch the OG series. Awesome. So you have a reference of what I'm about to show you. This is the confrontation of Katara fighting that one master. And it's flipped because I don't want to get copyright struck again. All right. I watched the OG series, but the Netflix version, ... Nope. And that's a good thing, because I made a huge 180 on that show. I thought it was going to be okay, but now I'm just totally over it. So let's watch this clip to give you perspective as to what you're missing out. And I think we can actually risk it this time. We'll see. So the animation, you can tell the animation looks weaker and it's much slower, and now they're fist fighting instead of using water bending. That interaction right there, how Aang wants to help and then he just tells him not to, and then the way he looks at him, it's so stupid. It made me laugh while I was watching this show. Right, there is no Korra show. We don't talk about that here. We did. And so that's like the fight, essentially. The moment where she kind of has her hair loosened, that happens way later on in the show, because in the animated series, because there's a lot more animation happening, more fighting, and here she's right just standing there, and they're using like fists to fight, and they're moving on into the last sequence straight away, and it is shorter. And so far there's nothing syncing up with everything, just the hair, the way the hair falls, that syncs up. And then this is what's going to also be like a direct translation from the show. Which they don't have to be one for one, right? Frozone. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Looks like Kung Fu Panda 2. And the visual effects on this sometimes look very bad. They look like video game characters at times. Here it's actually somewhat serviceable. And so that's the fight. And she still complains that, you know, he won't let her fight in the final battle. But if you notice, you're wondering, why did you cut off in the part where he notices his grandma's necklace, her grandma's necklace? That's actually not in the show at all. There's nothing with the necklace or his grandma. So that emotional attachment he had to her grandma is not going to play any role in this new version of the show. Perhaps because it's too romance oriented. But the reason why, I guess we'll get to it now. I'm going to show you now the clip of the final battle where they fight and the Fire Nation who's attacking. You guys are saying, Sir Deedso, looks like Kung Fu Panda 2. I just meant the moves. Do you mean like their technique? Or are you saying even in the first show as well, that's what it looked like? Far Cry Lego, that is mean to Kung Fu Panda 2. At least Kung Fu Panda 2 has a soul and heart, unlike this piece of crap. I agree with you. The moveset, like the moves, are so awkward. And they do not represent the bending, although in some areas it looks better. So let's not like complain about like the small stuff. There's like bigger stuff to complain about, which is going to happen now. The moves Po learned just looked what I saw here. Perhaps because the moves in this show were very much inspired by the real life fighting techniques. Like the waterbending is based off of Krav Maga, whereas firebending is based off of some other type of fighting style. So they're all very much, they're inspired by that, and so is Kung Fu Panda. So of course there's going to be some overlap here. And this is our main character, yes, Ben, who still hasn't learned how to waterbend. It's so weird because he's the one who teaches that girl that we just saw. He teaches her how to waterbend, and then she's also supposed to be the one who's supposed to teach him how to waterbend. So no, that's not how that's supposed to work. She's supposed to be a little bit more experienced as a waterbender, and she's supposed to kind of guide him through it. But okay, let's watch the show. So yeah, in case you guys were wondering, Aang doesn't know how to waterbend up to this point. So it's war. A lot of fighting going on, obviously. And then look at this girl here. So she's approaching him while they're about to die in the middle of battle, and she's coming up to him complaining because of gender discrimination. Are you serious?
Now is exactly the time.
I thought I made myself clear. Women are not allowed in combat.
I thought I showed you how stupid that is. Forget your pride.
And she makes it about his pride. It's not his pride, it's how their culture is. You are trying to change the way their customs are. There's a scene in this version of the show where Katara goes to this to the women's waterbending, where she's told by this older grandma that who teaches her how women waterbend, and they do healing. They use water to heal people, and that's what women do in this culture of theirs, in the northern waterbending temple, or the North Pole, or whatever you want to call it. That's what women are supposed to do. And now she is here complaining to him during the final battle, like she couldn't have found a better time. Plus, does she really need his permission to help out? It's like she's seeking out validation specifically to just have that sort of say. But then you find out very quickly on in this that there's something else going on here as well. Which...
This is about the survival of the waterbenders, and you need all the help you can get. You know we can make a difference.
We.
And I burst out laughing when I saw this scene. Just a bunch of women standing there randomly, like a bunch of NPCs just like standing there. Hey, you didn't notice us before, but we're standing here and we're ready to fight for us. It's so stupid. And then there's this one woman here. She's like nodding her head like, yes, this is my moment.
All they want is what you want. A chance to defend their home.
So she's making a case for why women should be fighting in a war.
What?
And this lady over here is the teacher, the female teacher who previously argued against Katara, so this girl here, why women are not allowed to take part in combat. She did tell her that, and now she made like a total 180. Now she's the one approaching this man out of nowhere again. It's like, where are you guys all coming from? You guys were in there, but just before. And now they're just all here, like this A-Force moment in Avengers Endgame where you have all these female characters out of nowhere just coming up to each other and standing next to each other. And now they all demand to be part of the war. It's like, I'm pretty sure if women, it's like, try to translate that into the real world. If you told women, hey, come take part in a war, do you think they're actually going to want that? It's like, if you actually made the draft legal for both genders, women would take issue with that, obviously. You know? Obviously. And no one tells them that they should go, right? It's always voluntary for the women, because most of them would not want to go. And this show is making, because it's children and women first, right? That's always been the situation. And this show is trying to make the other case, which is that no, women have to sacrifice their own lives, which isn't even a position that women themselves hold. Women do not want to take part in wars. They don't want to sacrifice their lives. The reason why men go to wars is to protect the women and children that they have at home. That's who they're fighting for. Not the other way around, or not both of them. Both of them don't go. And if you want to make it, if you want to kind of point to modern day, again, it's voluntary for women. And even that's questionable. It's like, women don't have to fight in wars. They shouldn't. Because that's not what they're for.
Good is it relying on the past when it stops us from having a future? Get over yourself, you old fool, and let us get the job done.
Get over yourself, you old fool. Like, come on. Who wrote this?
Western side of the wall needs reinforcement. You can help them repair the damage.
And they're all
See if
just
they're
wasting time right now. They're all getting ambushed. He's the master. He's supposed to be the one who's, you know, has a lot of say in this. And he's being distracted by these women who are willing, he's willing to sacrifice his own women. And we're supposed to find that honorable? Again, no.
Need any other assistance?
But it gets worse. So this whole, like, females, women ganging up on their master to take part in the war was obviously never in the original show.
The entire city will be in range soon.
So this tribe also has a princess and a leader. And this is one of their leaders, and he has a daughter who he's been protecting. She once died before. And watch this. She's a princess, right? Let me show you how she looks like in the show. This is what she looks like. This is the princess in the show. This is who we're going to be talking about. By the way, this is all, like, this scene, again, I'm not pressing anything. By the way, let me know if you guys are still there, because I haven't heard from you guys in a while, and I'm kind of getting worried that the stream is already gone, but I think we should be fine. All right, we're back. Hosky says on Twitch, that's good to hear. All right, that's good to hear. Awesome. But yeah, let me know if the Twitch stream is or the YouTube link is still working, because I'm getting worried. But there's a princess in this tribe, in this northern temple. Joe Bro Valentine says, I'm still here and I can still hear you, bro. Awesome, good. I'm sorry, I'm just getting worried because previously we had this issue before. So we have this princess here, right? A lot of you guys who have watched the show already know her, but she's like, she once died before and she's been brought back to life. Using like the spirit thing, and Moodcap says we're still here. Awesome. And so this is like just something you need for context. She exists, she's a thing, and this is the father, which he doesn't have that much of a big role in this. This is actually like one of the few scenes that he's in.
The first line of defense. We'll be ready. Quickly! You wait.
What is going on? Okay, so this is the princess, to give you kind of like the whole perspective here, the full context. This is the princess who is right now this is like war happening at this moment. This is life or death situation, and she's randomly strolling about in this battlefield battlefield like some kind of NPC. She's just walking straight, pretending like no one's gonna see her. She's just walking, doing nothing really. And then her father just notices her in the middle of everything, and he calls her by name, Yue. And then she's like, "Oh, you called me. Oh." And it's just so stupid.
I'm not
Who
going to
wrote
hide while
this?
everyone is.
I know who wrote this. Netflix did. And here she's going to complain that everybody else is helping. She's not helping. And this is already far from the character that we had in the show, who is supposed to be very feminine, who's supposed to be delicate, royalty. Those are supposed to be her qualities. She's supposed to be the most evident representation of femininity. And I would actually go on to say, I'm going to say it, that the version that we had, so this is the version of her we had in the show. And then there's also this one that we had in the animated series. And this is the one we had in the movies. Now, I think this one is actually better. Because, by the way, also her skin tone here is much lighter than even this version, which is kind of ironic. But look at her. She behaves more in line with the character that we had in the movies, in the shows, animated ones. This one is your typical angry, or sometimes even like a modern day sort of female character. In the show, she's also, in this Netflix adaptation, she's kind of like, when she speaks with Sokka, the male love interest that she has, which is like one of the 3 main characters. She's very casual. She sits on counters. She's not royalty. She is not she doesn't act like an actual princess that she's supposed to be. Like this one did and this one did. She's very soft, understanding, calm, collected, cool. This one is more casual. She's the type to sort of slouch. It's like she totally did not get the assignment. And also take a look at her hair. That's a big problem with this entire series. I did mention the costumes before. The hair in this series is awful. It looks like a bunch of wigs on every single character that has this blown out hair. Even Uncle Iroh, his hair is also a wig. So again, she's not even supposed to be here and risking her entire life like this. In the middle of a fight, what is she going to do? Like fight? How does she not know this? That she's a princess and she's supposed to be. He's going to say this right now, but he's going to tell her that you are a princess. If I die, you have to carry on my legacy, which of course is understandable. But why is he telling you this now? This should be common knowledge for you. And the reason why that's not is because the writers wanted to make her seem more, they wanted her to have more agency, more control over her character, more independence, more female independent, strong hero. Your typical awful writing. And so, hey, I wanted to like this show, but this is all happening in the end. And this happened all in the last episode. It derailed the whole thing. And not just that, there's also like other plot related reasons that I'll get to as well. After we also play some Batman Arkham Asylum, because that's what we also came here for. But yeah, let's watch her reasoning as to why she's here. And again, the whole setup for this scene, her just walking into the battlefield and just hoping nobody notices her. It's like, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing from a writer's perspective. There should be actual reasons. It's like kind of like an instance where, I guess I'll bring up Soul, the Pixar animated film Soul, where characters live in New York City, a huge giant city that I don't even have to explain to you how big it is. And for some reason, writers do this mistake all the time in a lot of media. They do this where characters that are relevant to the story just end up running into each other. They end up running into each other like randomly. Even though there's not a lot of likelihood that these characters would meet because the city is so big. And same here, it's a battlefield and everybody's just honed in on stuff. And the likelihood of her just passing by where he was in that moment, there is a way to do that, but you have to set it up with proper writing. You have to introduce certain plot mechanisms to do that. For example, you could have, you can have some sort of event happening, going back to Soul. You could have an event happening at a certain hour where both characters would would eventually end up meeting in that place, right? So you can do that. In this case, it's a battlefield, right? Sure. But why is she next to him? Perhaps maybe she has some kind of important message that she has to convey to her father and she has to tell him. In that case, she's not just wandering into the scene. We don't even know what she's doing here. She's just kind of walking in and you don't even know where she's going. But imagine if they gave her an actual writing reason, like a writing wise reason, where she has, I don't know, she received information from, maybe she noticed like a firebender is in, like that he's inside of the base or something, and she has to relay that information to her father, and perhaps maybe she's been locked away because no one else wanted her to leave the room or something. I don't know. And maybe one of her guards is dead. I don't know, something. Even then, you could say the guard could do that. A guard could convey that message to her father. But you can see how that's still better. You get the idea that you still have to have some sort of reason. And I think if we had some more time to think about it, I think we'd be able to come up with a compelling reason as to why she would be the one to actually go there. And for that to make sense for her character. But that's not the case. And so let's go back to this scene where, let's listen as to why she's here. We're obviously going to know because she wants to help, which again is not a good enough of a reason to have these two characters interact with one another. So let's go back and let's see how the father responds to this whole situation.
Well, you'll be the first line of defense.
We'll be ready.
Quickly! Yue!
I'm not going to hide while everyone is risking their lives.
Listen to me.
No, you have to stop being overprotective.
Yue. If anything should happen to me, you must take over. You are the future of the Northern Water Tribe.
Again, so yeah, that's basically what should be common knowledge to her by now. Other thing you should note is, she says this thing, stop being overprotective. What is wrong with these writers constantly using this line? Same thing with Mary Jane from the PlayStation 4. Mary Jane also, like the PlayStation 4 video game, she also used this line. And when are they using this line? When the characters' lives are actually in danger. You are in the middle of a battle and you're saying that he's... Like, this is the moment you decide to tell him that he's being overprotective? Come on. Same thing with Mary Jane. She's the one who's throwing herself into danger. She's about to get killed. Peter saves her multiple times. She runs into all these cartels. Tombstone. Her life is at risk. And then Moodcap in the chat says, Mary Jane, stop being overprotective. Exactly, that is exactly what is happening. But it doesn't make any sense for the character to say that because your life is genuinely in danger. Moodcap, despite having a gun pointed to her face. Exactly. It makes no sense. I understand that if maybe it was like a different scene, but still, you still have that context of your life being genuinely at risk. And so her saying, Mary Jane saying, you gotta stop treating me like I'm made of glass. Like, come on. You guys gotta start, that's what they do. They totally don't understand where they're coming from. Like, they're looking at it from a perspective of, this is an independent, strong woman, and the script has to adhere to her strengths no matter what happens. And she will be protected at all costs because of plot armor. And it's like they understand that there's like stuff like plot armor, but they don't do a good job of hiding it, or at least addressing it in a way that gets rid of plot armor and actually tells a compelling story. No, they have to shove in their agenda, and this is one of those examples.
My daughter. My gift.
He has to compliment her, and it's like he had to tell her that, hey, you're gonna replace me one day. So she's looking at it from a perspective of, oh, okay, so you worry about me because I'm going to have my power. I'm going to be the one who's going to take your place in the future. And he has to reaffirm her once again in that moment, kind of embolden her, reaffirm her identity to her in order for her to understand why she is being told to sit down.
Sokka! I need you to go with Yue and help her move the people away from the wall.
This is one of the main three characters. Well, obviously the main character is Aang, our avatar, but he is like in the main trio.
But most importantly, make sure the princess stays safe.
I swear I won't leave her side.
Sokka. Take care of her.
It's like, what was she even gonna do? So here are the women helping out, and what are they doing? They're just creating a water wall and endangering their lives. So remember what we talked about. The general rule of thumb, women and children. So they kind of just threw the women under the bus. They endangered them. The writers did. And now, the other part. The children.
Master Paku told us to report to you.
Paku sent you to me?
He told us to help you in any way we...
So yeah, they're going to have these, and they're not like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. He's like, what, maybe 18, let's say, for the sake of the show. To give him like kind of, let's say they're young adults, so 20, 18, but still, they're younger people, and what's like the usual argument? Oh, the old people start wars. And in this show, it was genuinely the older people who were actually fighting. You didn't have all those younglings like there were no 10-year-olds or 20-year-olds actually at the front lines. So, and then you introduce them, right? So it's like, okay. And then notice how he tells Katara, this female character, he tells her that Master Paku told us to go to you. It's like, what? Before he told them that he is not going to accept her at all. He did manage to, oh no, what you said again? Are we having more stream? Oh my goodness, what? No way. Oh my gosh. Twitch, you guys on Twitch are still with us for sure. I'm sorry. It's just, I find this whole situation hilarious. Now it's Netflix coming after us, okay. Okay, I did not expect that to be... I did not expect it to be Netflix of all people. That's crazy.